So recumbent biking plus BFR, or just biking in general with BFR, is a perfect example of what this whole heavy cardio thing is all about. Biking is easy, it's comfortable, it's natural, it's low impact. Everybody knows how to do it. It's a cyclical motion. Very very easy on the body. I used to bike all the time as a kid. I'd bike for hours. I'd just disappear out into the countryside, much different time, you know. But and it's an exercise most people can do for at least 10 minutes. Um, but how can we make it more challenging? How can we make it a full body workout, not just the legs? So this is a perfect example of what I call a composite workout, not a compound workout. That's where you have different muscle groups. But composite workout, made up term of mine, where you're combining cardio with strength or resistance training. So BFR straps, I cover that in a different video, but the basic theory is you're restricting the blood flow, leaving your muscles, and it's causing blood and oxygen or blood and deoxygenated blood to build up in your muscles, causes extra stress to the muscles, which is what you're ultimately trying to cause to build muscle, is that added stress. It's safe and effective. They use it in rehab centers, but it allows you to lift lighter weights and see the results as if you're lifting heavier. So how can we make the recumbent bike a full body exercise? Well, move the arms. You get the legs going, but move the arms. Even if you don't have anything with you, I have some 5-pounders here. If you have this, you get wrist weights. It's I saw some you know a woman about the age of my mom on the treadmill the other day, and she was just doing some simple arm raises. I went over there and I said, "Good going. You're engaging more than just your legs. You're trying to get a full body exercise. So start small." When I started, I was doing 10-pounders for this. But so you want to try to do alternate muscle exercises. So, first you get your biceps, then your triceps, and then you go back to your biceps, your triceps. Or, if you have 3 exercises in there: biceps, triceps, shoulders. Here's an example. When I'm downstairs, there's a cable cross machine. So first I'll start off of the bike, and I'll do pectoral flies. And then after that, I'll hop on the bike, get going, and I'll do a set of shoulder presses, right? While biking. I don't want to go forward because the machine will beep. So shoulder press, I do bicep curl, gets my biceps. I do tricep extension, which the shoulder press is going to get your triceps a little, so this is, just extra. I'm alternating between those muscle groups. So now back to the bicep. And another one, I just added this today, and it does not take much weight at all. It's shoulder raises, up, out, and down. Oh my gosh. I was doing 8 pounds, and it was killer. So what you want to do for the movement is you want to have an explosive contraction, which is the concentric movement scientifically, but then a controlled release. So when you go up, you want to really explode up and let it come down. You're trying to engage those fast twitch muscles, and then replicating what's called a negative. Oh, I pedaled forward. Oops. In the weightlifting world, there's what are called negative lifts. Negatives is where you do more than your 1 rep max, and you literally let the weight crush you. You have a bunch of spotters around, but you let the weight crush you on the way down, and it is an incredibly effective way to build strength. So you're kind of replicating that here. You're going to explode up and then controlled release down. Explode up and then controlled down. And go to a bicep curl. And then after that, tricep extensions. Back to a bicep curl after that. and then arm raises. Obviously, I'm doing far fewer, just for the sake of keeping this video from being 20 minutes long. So how long, how many? Well, for BFR, you're supposed to do, they recommend between 20 and 40% of your 1 rep max. Be a little flexible here. Don't hurt yourself, because these are very uncontrolled movements. So I started out with, it was either 10 or 15 pounds when I started out doing this just a couple months ago. So just get a comfortable set of weights and go for each exercise 1.5 to 2.5 minutes, or somewhere between 25 and 35 reps. And then take a 30-second break between each one of the different exercises. So for instance, you're gonna do 1.5 to 2.5 minutes, or roughly 25 to 35 reps. You want to do these slowly. You want to go up and then controlled down, up, controlled down, up. So you're going to do that for the 1.5, 2.5, 25 to 35 reps, and then take a 30-second break. Then alternate muscle group. Explode up, explode up, explode up. And I try to do at least 2 sets of all of that together, but that takes a little bit of time. It really does. It probably about 10 minutes to do all those different muscle groups. To do, like I said, I don't have the cable machine behind me, but I do pec flies, then the shoulder press, bicep curl, tricep extension, bicep curl again, and then arm raises. All of that, at a minimum of 1.5 minutes for each exercise, and then a 30-second break. That adds up pretty quick. So I try to do, I do at least 2 sets. If I can get in a third one, I'm super happy. But if you're wanting to grow muscle, get some muscle growth, then try to push for failure each time. Grab some heavier weights. I just grabbed some lighter ones here to demonstrate with, but I will have a set of lighter weights for my shoulder raises. I'm trying to stick to just the same dumbbells for everything else. Right now, I'm between 25 and 30 pounds. My biceps aren't quite keeping up, so I've got to have both of them sitting, some up here, and I'll start out, do as many as I can, and then switch out weights for my biceps, switch back to do the shoulder press. So make it flexible, make it your own. You don't have to do a whole lot of weight if you're just using your arms. If you're just doing sit and be fit, you're lifting bags of sugar, whatever, it's fine. The BFR straps definitely help with growing muscle mass, or at even lighter weights, even just limb movements, or this type of movement, it does still help with maintaining muscle density and maintaining strength. So it's great for all age groups. All right, that's pretty much all I got for this. Let me know what you think if you've ever done anything like this. Oh yeah, you can do this on I'll go over this. I'll demonstrate other exercises, but do this on the treadmill. Grab some ankle weights. I'll talk about ankle weights in a different video, but grab some of this. You're walking, so you be careful your balance. But just all those nerds back in the 80s doing the power walking. I think there was something to that, If you grab some heavy weights and you really go at that and you push yourself for, I try to go, like I said, 3 sets, going for half an hour doing this. When you're going to failure every time, it'll get some muscle growth. But again, if you just wanting to maintain, it's a great way to do that too. All right, let me know if you ever done anything like this, what you would add, if you done it on what other exercises you've tried. Thanks for watching.